see. All right. Well, how are you going to top that, Jim?
I can't. But the thing is, there's a point to have interactive things, and there's a point to not having interactive things. I mean, trailers are entertainment typically, and the same with interactive television or interactive movies. I mean, people don't want to go to the movies and pick the ending or pick the end of the TV show. You want to just be entertained, and trailers are entertainment. So it's a kind of a marketing thing. This mystery thing, having an interactive thing is fine, and that's a good part of the business. And I'd like to try one just to do it. It'd be kind of cool to do it and work on something like that. But still, the bread and butter is create a piece that's self-contained, that entertains, that has a directed message, brings the excitement, brings the emotion, and the consumer can watch it and enjoy it, and not have to work to do it.
But could it be something as simple as sort of a choose your own adventure? It's like, does the character go left or right? I mean, how would you approach something?
Yeah, you can do that sort of thing. But I think from an interactive standpoint, I have to agree with this. I mean, I think a lot of the stuff that's coming out right now, you're seeing games again take a cue from theatrical, where they're actually creating what we would call niche trailers. So, for instance, if you were in theatrical and you had a romantic comedy and you were trying to pitch it beyond the typical date night group, and Hammer's done this, we've done this, and other groups have done this, then you're possibly going to make, say, an action-based or comedy-based spot, and you'll put it on G4 Spike or whatever, that sort of thing. And with hybrid-type games out there where you've got action RPGs and so on and so forth, you're seeing a lot more of these niche trailers that are being put in specific sites, and so they're created for different reasons to get different gamers involved, because there are different elements to the game that are going to excite different types of gamers.
Absolutely. I think it comes back again to what the objectives are. I might have an idea of what little project you're talking about. It's not Call of Duty. And depending on what those objectives are, I mean, as marketers, we have to be really creative about delivering our promise, right? Because what we heard, especially on Call of Duty, is for Call of Duty 1 and 2, we had a formula. That first person, CG, it was a formula. And then we started to see it with other games, specifically other World War II shooters. So now all of a sudden, as a consumer, there's not a lot of differentiation. And so I think we always have to challenge ourselves to get really creative and be really true to what our vision is for that promise. And each product is going to be different.
Do you think the rise of more downloadable game demos, is that helping or hurting the importance of a trailer?
It depends. I think an experience is unmatched as long as it's the right content, it's the right experience. And so an example would be for Call of Duty 4, the Xbox 360 beta, home run for Call of Duty 4.
You didn't even need a demo.
Didn't even need a demo. And honestly, that was the post-mortem, didn't need a demo. And if we did need a demo, maybe a different content would have been the right demo for us. So I think it's really about content, it's about that experience. But again, the multiplayer demo was a lot of experience. It was hours and hours of an experience versus a 60-second trailer. So I think it really comes down to what's the content that you're delivering, what's that experience, and make sure that it's going to continue to grow momentum and not stall it as maybe a competitor's experience over the summer did a little bit.
It's got to be a great demo. I mean, if you're going to do a demo, it's got to be a great demo.
Yeah, absolutely. It's got to be a great demo. It's got to be a great video, quite honestly. And if you're not ready, I've experienced this before in past projects, we weren't ready. And we just didn't do anything. We literally just waited. And we waited until the assets were right for the right video, the assets were right for the right demo. And sometimes you just have to wait. Waiting is a better investment long term than trying to get something out there for some share of voice that, you'll never get a second chance to make a first impression. So.
And you guys are the people who are making the first impressions many times. So it's so what can we look forward to coming up?
Just coming back to that, I mean, I think there's been a lot of discussion recently about this idea of, are trailers going to be that important, or videos going to be that important since a lot of things are becoming downloadable, not only demos but just general downloadable content. Brick and mortar. There's the argument of brick and mortar going away, and of course, there's more of a demand for video content, I think, at this point, because the fact of the matter is that the consumer is not expecting to go into the store anymore, and instead is going to have, say, an iTunes type of experience where they're going to go to a 360 or PSN or something like that and download from there. Right, or watch it. Well, of course, as all of us do, you're going to want to be able to have something to show, because you really don't have a box or any type of key art in the store that the consumer is picking up. They need to see something, and not only the core audience, but especially the mass market, who may not be trolling through the blogs and so on and so forth and looking at every single game that's going on. You've got to figure out a way to get your to get your game in front of the eyes of the mass market consumer, and it's not really necessarily an easy thing to do, especially if you're not doing a lot of video content.
Yeah, video is king. Video is absolutely king for us. And marketing, our budgets are healthy at Activision to make sure we're making
a big
good videos.
epic trailer coming this year.
Absolutely,
Sure.
at least
All right,
one.
At least one.
Yeah.
All right.
There's a great thing at MI6 last week or 2 weeks ago. They got some EDAR, the Electronic
Right.
Entertainment guys, and they did a whole study about trailers versus demos. And it came out very strong that the trailers were the better precursor of sales.
Really?
Again, because the trailers they're a directed experience.
Yes.
We're creating the
Focus.
best possible, beautiful part of the game, the shiniest part of the game, versus a demo is the real game.
That was like, when I played the Simpsons demo, I couldn't even get through it, and it was so complicated to understand what was going on, but, you see these, Grand Theft Scratchy or something, and that leaves you with a much more positive impression.
Exactly. So the Simpsons trailer demo might not have been the best demo necessarily. I didn't play, so I can't say, but maybe it wasn't the right demo. But the trailers were very well viewed and very well received, and maybe they'd stuck with it. The game's still great, so maybe it didn't matter because it sold millions of copies. But
Until Rockstar got.
And more exposure for videos, right?
Also
So
great.
Call of Duty has, 25 million downloads on GameTrailers.com, and I know that only 350,000 people played the beta and only 18 million downloaded the PC demo. So the reach is exponential.
The reach was pretty insane. All right, well, what can we see from you guys coming up this year? Jim, what are you guys working on that you can tell us about?
Well, can't really talk about a lot of stuff.
I know we're
unfortunately.
excited, though. We're going to be premiering a new trailer from you guys from Dead Space. Will be coming up on May 16th
Dead
on the
Space
show.
is coming fast and furious. We did a trailer already for them that's been out. It's kind of cool. It's a good, scary game. So we can talk about that, I guess. And that's coming. We did a trailer for a game called Golden Axe,
Right.
which the old arcade game's coming back. And they did a cool job upgrading that for the new
Seeing that
generation.
May 30th on the show,
That's
I believe.
coming too
So
for you, I believe. So there's 2 that have been out already I can talk about, and they're coming.
Are coming soon. to
Coming
Game
this
Trailers
fall.
TV. All right, excellent. And what about you, Rob? What can we look forward to?
Obviously,
from,
there's more Call of Duty coming down the pike.
There
There's
is?
some.
Maybe.
I'm just
Really?
kidding. Of course there
Might
is.
see something this
Of
summer.
course there is.
Maybe this
Sure.
summer.
There's stuff that's coming up, I think, actually pretty quickly. And there's some other products, both with Activision and outside of Activision. I think some of the stuff's actually going to be premiering on your shows, which is going to be pretty
Logistics
exciting.
2, I think, is coming up on June 13th.
It might be. It might be.
That's what we announced. So
Okay, well,
we'll
then
have to see
probably.
what happens. Exactly.
We should
Hopefully,
we should
you're
probably
going
get
to
to work
trailer
then.
on time. Exactly.
I might get out of here and start working.
Better
Neat.
start cutting it.
Excellent. All right, we'll hopefully see more Call of Duty for
Definitely.
many years to come. All right,
Of
well,
course.
thanks for joining us here in the bonus round. If you guys want to see all the great video game trailers we've talked about on the show here, head on over right now to the homepage of GameTrailers.com. That's it. We'll see you next time in the bonus round.
Bonus round.